How's it going, everybody? It is April the 2nd, and this is my season for cutting firewood. Trapping season is over. It'll soon be turkey season, but I get my firewood cut early in the spring. The vast majority of the firewood I cut, this is fresh stuff I cut here, and this is old stuff that's left over from last year. Still got a couple rows there. It's split pretty small. The one reason I split it pretty small is a lot of this stuff is pretty green. When I'm cutting it down, the bark is just coming off. The vast majority of the firewood that I cut has been white oak, red oak, and it's called chestnut oak. Some people around here call it mountain oak or mountain chestnut or rock oak. Has a really thick bark and it's easy to identify. The one issue is if the bark doesn't come off fast on the chestnut oak, they get we call it punky on the outside. I mean, the center core here is still really good on a lot of this stuff. Some of this stuff I haven't split because it'll get a good year, over a year, probably a year and a half to almost 2 years to season. Some of these chunks here were white oak chunks. They were pretty dried out already. As far as BTUs, I think white oak is the best that we got around here. And then I think the chestnut oak, which is a relative type of a white oak actually, it comes in second, and then red oak would be a third. As far as how many BTUs you get out of a cord, I guess that's what I've read anyways. I always just stack my wood up on pallets and stuff. I usually got to replace these every couple years. They usually get full of sawdust and the bloody red squirrels. I mean, this is everywhere. It's all packed up under here. So I clean it out so I get good ventilation and help it season some. It would probably get better ventilation if these walls weren't plywooded. But if I didn't have that, come winter time, the north wind coming this way and the west coming this way, we just pack this up with snow. It'd be a pain in the butt. So this wood boiler, it's an indoor wood boiler. It's been chugging for at least 5 months straight from end of October till the end of March. I shut it down maybe 2 or 3 days when it got really warm out. But it's basically this is like the size of the inner box here. It'll hold a pretty good sized piece of wood. It's like 30 inches deep, but I usually cut about 24 to 26 inch logs to throw in here. The rest of this is all a big water jacket around here and just gets constantly circulated through my furnace downstairs. I got a little wood burner inside my house. There's actually a little fire in there right now, burning and taking the chill off the house. It was about 30 degrees this morning. It's going to warm up a little bit. But on the cool mornings and the cool evenings, I'll start a fire in that until we hit the summertime. So let's go out in the woods and cut down a tree. All right, I'm out in the state forest land. We're allowed to get permits for 20 bucks per cord to cut wood. We have to hand carry or use a wheelbarrow or something like that to get the wood out. But this is actually one of the 3 main types of wood we get to cut. Good hardwoods anyway. This is a white oak. It has a pretty thin bark and it's sort of flaky. Can flake off. I don't want to damage this tree. It's a nice live tree. But that's a white oak. And then right over here, this is the easier one to identify. Looks like a dinosaur tree or something. This is the chestnut oak or mountain chestnut, or some people call it rock oak. You can tell when they're dead, they almost sound hollow. The bark is coming loose and you can knock on them. But this is a live tree as well. But this is a chestnut oak, real thick bark, big humps on it and stuff. Easy to identify. And the third type of oak that's really prevalent. I mean, there's other types of oak. These 3 right here are red oaks. Red oak right here, red oak and red oak. They would make nice firewood if they were dead. This one is close, really. Looking up at the top, the limbs are all dead looking. Looks like some of the leaves are still budding out on it though. They're not completely dead. That sounds like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I'm not quite dead yet. Yeah, but those are the red oaks. So let's go see if we can find one that's expired and the bark is coming off. Get a tree cut down. Here's the way I tell if some of these trees are stone dead. If you tap on them, they sound sort of hollow almost. It's not because they're dried out yet, but it's because the bark's coming loose. On a live tree, that would never ever happen like that. The bark is starting to split. Was starting to split here. Looking at it, just touched my axe there and it was coming right off. So I'll get this tree dropped down, peel the bark off. If that tree is dead as well, and that one right there is definitely dead, this will get me a decent load of wood. And that'll be enough for me today, probably. Cut a load here and there and I'll get enough for the winter. Time to get my chainsaw ready. And there we go, one tree down, debarked and split. But yeah, the bark come off nice and easy. The one thing when it's this green is I gotta split it small so it gets seasoned half decent. Some of this wood will only have about 8 months to season out. I'll even split some smaller maybe. But under the bark, if I was going fishing anytime soon, I'd be collecting these. Are some of the best fishing bait. A lot of people around here call these sawyers, some kind of grub. It gets up under the trees, but they're a soft grub, and fish love those things. There's a lot of them here too. I wish if I had time I'd be collecting them, but my goal is getting firewood right now, not fish. Yeah, 20 bucks a cord. Takes a little bit of effort, but being out here, it's awesome out here. It's a nice and cool day. Doesn't get any better than this for cutting firewood. Got these loaded up here. Like I said, I split some of these pretty small. Some of the ones, these won't get burnt this year. Some of the ones I burned this year, they might get even split again right here. This is split nice and easy. This and white oak, pretty similar if you get a nice straight tree for splitting. Red oak is definitely the easiest to split. And yeah, and the bark come off super easy. All right, gotta get a couple more cut, or at least one more. I'll get one more in here. This is really heavy wood, so I can't overload my trailer, but I'll probably get one more tree cut down, load it up, and I'll see you back at the shed and unload it. All right, now it's time for unloading and stacking in here. Well, and there's one load done. Piled most of it over here. These two rows won't get burnt probably until 2023 actually. That's why they're a lot bigger, they'll have more time to season. A lot of the ones that split up real small, they'll be burnt this year. They'll only get about maybe 8-9 months to season out a little bit. That's why they're getting split nice and small over there. Thanks for checking out this video. It's about 50 degrees now. The bees are coming out a little bit. Hopefully the next time I make a video, it'll be beekeeping and I'll be able to show you this shed full. All right, till next time, have a good day everybody. Stay safe.